Hello, welcome back. Second day in a row, we're here for another Premier League preview live one. And today, my guests are Jay. Obviously, we know who Jay is by now. We know who he supports. Welcome back on, Jay. Down the bottom, he normally comes on for the watch-alongs, but he's coming to say today for the Tottenham view. It's my brother Rob. You like Rob? Coming back on the show. Been a while. Good to see him. Liverpool fan. It's Ren. How, Ren? Do that, yeah. We'll just wave. So again, I'll ask you all a few questions on your team, and then we'll go through the bottom three and the top four. Again, it won't be as long as normal. The same sort of concept as yesterday. New people to the channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, and if you want to join, put in the comments. You want to ask a question, put in the comments, and we'll answer them. But if you want to join, let me know. I'll put them in the link in the chat so you can join. And please like, subscribe, and leave a comment, as I said. So we'll start off with talking about Liverpool. So Ren, so close last year. Before we get to your thoughts and expectations, just a brief, well, not brief, as long as you want, really. How has the transfer window gone for you? How would you rate Liverpool's business so far?
I'm not going to lie to you. When you lose Mane as one of your... when you lose Mane in a transfer window, for me personally, I don't think that was really good. And then not replacing him with someone of a similar caliber. You might... Some people... What people don't realise is Mane does most of the groundwork. He played the whole of last season, went to the African Cup of Nations, and still performed the same, and never injured. We basically sold a player that's going to go to an considerably easier league where they're going to get a lot more years out of him. And I think they have another 6-7 years that they could get from him because the league's a lot slower. In terms of the business we've done, I'm hoping that Núñez hits the ground running. And maybe that was just I think Núñez is a good signing, but I hope he hits the ground running because the Premier League is going to be a little bit different. And I'm hoping that the Man United game probably wasn't a reflection of what he can do because they were already 2 weeks ahead in terms of fitness. Carvalho is a good signing, but I think he's going to need a little time to embed into the Prem. And I think Ramsey. So we've made 3 signings. I feel like it's good signings, but losing Mane for me is a very big loss.
Well, one thing I'll say is obviously Núñez is a risky one, but then it's no different to Diaz, and look what Diaz did in that sort of space of time. So yes, you've lost Mane, but he's 30, 31. Núñez is much younger. Yes, I get what you mean, but are you not optimistic that Núñez could be a potentially special player?
No, I am. I'm not taking away from that fact. I think after the other day, if he can score, if he can get into, because he's going to have to bring something different to our team. So he's going to get into positions that a lot of the others couldn't. And coming to the end of the season, when we were just crossing the...
Oh, he's gone. He's disappeared.
The missus unplugged him.
Carry on, Brent.
He's gone mute now.
Oh, sorry. Apologies.
Yeah, carry on, mate.
So basically, now we have someone that can get at the end of the process. Because I think coming to the end of the season, when we was getting a little bit lost on what to do, we were just whipping it in the air. And I was thinking there was nobody to get on the end of it. And I'm hoping that he now becomes that outlet for us, basically. So I think it'll be a difference.
Go to you. I know you look busy. We spoke about Núñez on many occasions during the pre-season. What's your opinion on this signing? Do you think he is good enough, and is he a replacement for Mane, or is Mane unreplaceable? Jay, I'm talking to you.
Oh, sorry, mate. We've never spoken about Núñez before, so I didn't think you were talking to me.
In the transfer show, we were.
I think Ren's right. Sorry, let me just get up. I think losing Mane is a bit underestimated of everyone. Everyone thinks he's easily replaceable when they don't understand how important a player he was. for the amount of games he played last year and for his age and stayed fit. So I think that's kind of got a bit lost. And the Liverpool hype train, as soon as Liverpool hype buy someone, he's going to be the next big thing. You've got to be consistent over the whole season, and also know how to play the Prem, because it's about grinding out results when you're not at your best. And Mane was good at that and can give you that moment of inspiration, whereas like new players to the league can get a bit frustrated with that. But yeah, obviously the potential's there. I don't really go off anything off pre-season. I think it's irrelevant. It's probably the time to lose games when you're trying a bit something different, rather than getting excited that you scored 4 goals in one game, because how do you know what the other team's tactics were? They might not give a shit how many they conceded. They might have been working on something else. So it's a bit of a miscarriage, isn't it? So we'll see. He's young enough, isn't he? So plenty of others have come from Portugal and done really well. Ronaldo, Nani, but then plenty have kind of not lived up quite to what they're expected. They've been very good players, but they're going to, essentially, it's going to be a Liverpool Man City race again, isn't it? Because they seem to be the two most consistently dominant teams in the league. Chelsea can have it. Tottenham look like they potentially could be well up there as well. So yeah, let's kind of see what the season brings. And I've said it all along. I think a lot of teams have had a good transfer window. A lot of teams have got. No one's got a brand new manager. They've all got a manager who's been at least 6 months in their role, and kind of, I think it's going to be an interesting season in terms of
that. Ren, Salah signed a new deal. Is he going to be the key player this year for success, or is there someone else that could be vital for Liverpool?
People are going to be shocked if I say this. I don't think he will be. I think he's still going to be consistent. He's going to do what he does, right? But I think we're going to need other people to step up, for me personally, because Salah wasn't. I don't think people that don't watch Liverpool, they're going to go, "Oh, Salah gets all the goals." That's fine. But Mane was the one doing all the running. He's the one that closed down the goal come the end of the season. He will always run. Do you know what I mean? He'll track back. He'll go forward. He's always got energy. He obviously breaks up play, so obviously that's how you get your counters. And obviously, I know Salah tries that, but I don't think people realize how fit Mane was. But I'm looking forward to see what Cavillo could bring, if he's going to be that creative player that we was longing for a bit when games was getting a bit tight. Or Elliot, I'm looking forward to Elliot, and I'm looking forward to seeing Diaz. Now he's got a full season under us, where he's gone through Klopp's pre-season, where he's going to be fully fit. I don't know if, obviously this might be silly because obviously he's playing football throughout the season, but sometimes I don't know if the pre-season or the fitness in other teams is similar to Liverpool's, because whatever Klopp does, I don't know, it's a lot of running involved, so I think he's going to be a lot fitter. And I'm even looking forward to seeing Firmino again, getting back to his best as well, because I think even he's a different player. He brings something different to the team. Like, I'm just looking forward to seeing what some of these new boys could do. Maybe just change up our play a little bit. I know it's definitely going to change a bit.
Okay, so thoughts and expectations. Is this another, are you obviously challenging for the title? Can you win the title? Would you expect to try and win maybe a couple of cups again? Or do you think City might dominate a bit more this year? What's your expectations?
I hate to say this because I like to be optimistic about my team, but the signings that City's done, I don't think people don't realize. If you look at Haaland's goal scoring record, right? He's literally had a goal per game. Now he's going to a City team that will literally put the ball on the plate for him. He's literally got. If he does not score as many goals or even more than he has in other leagues, I'll be surprised. I think we could push for a cup. I'm going to honestly say I think we could go for Champions League. I think the league will be a little bit tougher this year because I've seen a few of the teams that, like Tottenham and Arsenal, right? I think Arsenal and Tottenham this season are going to be a bit crazy because this is the first time I've seen Tottenham actually have a proper window where they've actually backed their manager. And Arsenal's window actually is looking quite good as well. Look what you did to Chelsea the other day. So I think the league is going to be a little bit different, but I think we can still. I feel like Champions League competition and cup game, we should be able to bring something home.
Big up to everyone in the comments. Appreciate it. Beast, which is Reece. Will Liverpool do that for Nunes, though, the way City will do for Haaland? Yes, basically, if Nunes scored so many goals in Portugal, surely with what Liverpool, Alexander-Arnold and Diaz and Salah, will they put that on the plate for Nunes, Brent?
Oh, no. I have no question that they will, right? And that's not what I'm saying. It's not a negative outlook.
No, I know
think
that. I'm just saying he's saying what he's saying is that obviously Haaland will get it, but surely Nunes should get the same sort of service as well.
the only difference is, right, I think we've just heard about Nunes a past season. With the reason why I'm comparing him to Haaland is because he's done it consistently from wherever he's gone, right? And I'm just hoping that Nunes last season is what he will continue on. Like, similar to what Jay said, being consistent. Because I think this is the only time I really heard of him is literally last season. So I hope he can carry on that form. That's all I'm saying. But I'm just saying, if you look at Haaland, he's proved it on the national stage and he's proved it in every league he's been in. So I'm just hoping that Nunes does what he done last season out with us, basically.
Jay, Haaland played in the Bundesliga. Is it going to be a bit harder for him this year, or is it easier because he's playing for City?
It's always harder, isn't it, coming to the Prem? Like Ren said, Mane's going to a league where he's probably going to get a couple more years out of himself with a little bit slower pace and kind of... It's just boring, isn't it? Bayern dominate that league. So, obviously, Dortmund are okay, and they go forward a lot and that sort of thing. But yeah, we'll see. I'd quite like him. I hate hype trains, so I'd quite like the hype train to hit a little stop and people be put in their place a bit. But I think potentially he's going to be a fantastic player for them. But we'll see. We'll see. The league's much more like centre backs and defensively. I think we're much more sound in a way than other leagues. Like it's a bit more in your face, isn't it? But the Bundesliga have that as well. Like we had our pants pulled down by Wolfsburg, didn't we? So
yeah. Friendly though, it's a friendly.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, it all boils down to consistency. You can be great for a few games, but can you do it consistently throughout season? And that's what makes the best players better. I saw a quote the other day, and it was Schneider was like, "Oh, I could have been better than Ronaldo and Messi if I'd kind of had the same outlook on training as them, because a lot of them have the money and like partying as well as being footballers. Whereas Ronaldo and Messi drink water, eat, sleep, play football. Do you know what I mean? Be a loser. So
have pussy in the pre-season.
Yeah, exactly. So it's about
that's what it is.
Their quality is consistency. They've been amazing every single year throughout that time. So where Ren speaks about Firmino, he was good for 2 seasons and then injuries and then a whole host of other things. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's a good player, but if he kept those standards up, how good a player could he been? And it's not always necessarily their own fault. Like I say, injuries can hamper players' careers massively. So it is a lot of luck as well. But then Ronaldo has had injuries and then kind of changed his game and bounced back from that. So look, it's consistency always. Like Tottenham, if they started the season well last year and not shit himself first half of the season, they would have easily been top 3, if not challenging in the other 2. And with the signings they've made, I think it's going to be a real threat for that second. Like I say, I think City, like someone said in the comments just now, I think it's City's 100% to lose. But within that, I think there's a lot of quality teams who've signed a lot of quality players for positions they need as well. So yeah.
Right, now I'll come back to you with your prediction where you'll finish shortly. We're going to move on now. Before I do, anything you want to add on Liverpool this year?
No, I'm just looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing the different change in our formation. I think that's what's going to happen this year, and I'm hoping that these like Carvalho and Elliott, like he did at the beginning of the season last year, I'm hoping that they become our creative spark, and then just hopefully we do another run like we did last year.
Harvey Elliott is definitely one to watch. Sorry.
Harvey Elliott is definitely 100%. One to watch.
He's going to be an absolute baller.
Yeah, 100% can't wait for him.
100%.
So we're going to move to Tottenham. Obviously, so far, Ren and Jay have been bumming him up, and I have to admit they've had a great window. Rob, thank you for coming on. I know this is not your strongest point, so do your best, mate. Don't worry. So, transfer window, how happy are you with the signings that Tottenham have made?
Very happy. I am. Two good signings we've made from Brighton and Everton.
Okay, Richarlison, will he start?
Hopefully, yes.
With Kane and Son?
Yeah.
Do you think upcoming season, who's going to be the main man for you? Is it going to be Kane? Is it going to be Son? Or is it going to be someone else?
Be Song again.
Do you think he's the main man? And why? Why not Kane? Just the goals? More goals for Son?
Goals, and Kane's threatened to leave us several times already.
You just never know. I'll go to you, Ren. I'll come back to you in a minute, Rob. Ren, Tottenham. I know you've already mentioned it, like Jay has. Are they got a real genuine chance to challenge you two this year?
Let me be real, right? I'm going to say yes. They played us last year with a squad he didn't really want, right? And they literally put us under pressure. The difference is now, right? They're going to have a team that can defend properly, right? How other teams let Basuma go to Tottenham, and I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way. For 25 million, no Man U or no Arsenal thought, let me go in for 25 million. I can't even believe when I heard that. But again, then that's just the sign of Tottenham showing their intent in this window, because a lot of people are not even talking about Perisic. It's like he's just not. It's like he's just not there. Like he's been signed. He's a Champions League winner.
And he's played with Conte as well. He knows Conte. So.
Do you see what I mean? It's like everyone talking about everybody else. I'm like, they still got like a Champions League winner. Now they've got a mentality of there's a winner in their team, in their squad. Exactly. Conte's a winner. He's letting them run all. I'm just telling you, you're going to see a different Tottenham team, and I'm a little bit worried. If I'm honest with you, I don't think Richarlison will be the starter though. I think he will probably be coming in the filler games, like to kind of rotate. Yeah. Because I think they're going to probably try and rest Kane a bit. I believe, but I think it should be Perisic, Kane, and Son.
No. Perisic will play left wing back.
Oh, do you know? It's only because I was thinking, because he's quite older. I thought he would be kind of in that type of position, but then that could, if that's the case, then maybe.
Yeah, it'd be clever, Kesky, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because that guy. Let me say something. They signed him. They got Kulusevski. They signed him properly now. Then they got that Boynton. They both done well last season. If they carry on, I'm telling you, they're not gonna be easy. And if they get Ndombele playing, which I don't know if they want him to stay or not, but maybe they could get the best for him now because there's a bit more competition. So I don't know, but I think they have a strong push. They're winning something. I can see them winning something with this squad.
Calm down.
I just feel like they will.
Robert, do you reckon you'll win something? Do you reckon you'll win something this year, Robert?
We usually just win the League Cup sometimes.
That was a long time ago, mate. I think I was about 18 when you last won it. So
yeah.
I'm in my 30s now. You did win a trophy the other day though. Wasn't that the Mickey Mouse Popcorn Cup or something?
I don't know. I didn't even realise we won something.
Pre-season. Jay.
It would be nice to me, Graham. I do have pictures of you.
Oh yeah, all right. Put them away. Jay, are we all getting a bit carried away? Jay, are we all getting a bit carried away, or are Tottenham generally going to have a good season this year?
As an Arsenal fan, you'd like us to be all getting carried away, but nah, I can't say anything Ren hasn't said. To be honest, I think they've signed quality in position. Like again, Basuma for 25 million is a fucking bargain. That's just crazy money to me, especially as people are spunking 30+ million on players that ain't even played in the league. Basuma's proven absolute quality for Brighton last year. On a side note, I think Brighton are going to massively struggle without him, and I can't see him finishing top half. But anyway, I mean, I don't want to suck them off too much, but I can't see them having that blip. Like Ren said, Conte is a winner. Like they're not going to have. Every team has a blip, and when they have to grind out results. But when you got Son, who just scores open play goals for fun, and Kane, when he's on form, is arguably one of the best strikers in the world. Okay, he hasn't won anything, but I don't think that it's a team game. It's not tennis where people are talking about how many championships you won. Like sometimes that's just a roll of the dice that you don't want to leave the team that you're in because you're loyal to them, or do you know what I mean? He's had plenty of opportunities to leave, but I think at the end of the day he wanted to stay. Like something was in the back of his mind. So yeah, I don't think we're getting carried away at all. But
Big
yeah,
up Chris, by the way. He didn't want to come on, Jay. I asked him to come and he said no.
pussy. He knows we ripped Chelsea for doing nothing this window. Or getting rejected this window.
Yeah, carry on, mate. Sorry.
But yeah, Richarlison, I don't think he's that great. But again, Conte's a manager. He knows more about football than I do. So we'll have to trust his judgment on that one. But yeah, I just think that they've got some good depth, which Tottenham has kind of been a struggle for them most of the time in previous seasons where they've had a really good team. But if someone gets injured, then it affects them massively. So I think they've got some good young depth in there. Jed Spence at right back is going to be a great player. So yeah, looking forward to seeing them play, to be honest.
We'll go back to you, mate. Where do you think you will finish? What's the expectation? Do you think winning a cup and maybe top 4, or do you think you can push? I'm talking to you, Rob.
Sorry. Yeah, I reckon we will finish in the top 4 this season. We will. Yeah. Possibly aim for 3rd, at least. Beat Chelsea.
Yeah. Well, you'll be above us then. What about a cup?
Yeah.
Do you think you can finally actually win a proper cup?
Try and aim for FA Cup this season, we could, or Champions League. We've made it to the final once.
We haven't made many jokes, but that is probably the best joke so far. Champions League, no. FA Cup, definitely a chance. I will agree with you there. So I'll just ask the other guys, Jay and Ren, very quickly. I know we're going to predict the top 4. Is Tottenham a cert for top 4 this year? Would you be shocked to see him outside of it?
I think I'm going to throw it out there. I think they could sneak the Champions League or the league as like a just pure consistency thing. Do you know what I mean? Where they're not blippy, they're just solid and they kind of don't blow the world away. But Conte just nicks them one of those things. So I think it could be it's an out there one, don't get me wrong, but I think they could be a surprise in the league. I think they could be surprised in the league, and I think they're going to be a very, very good cup team. Do you know what I mean? So kind of, it's the way Italy were against England, for example, is they did fuck all. They're a bit dirty, but they did the job. So he's got that experience. So yeah, I think they're definitely going to. Okay, we won't say definitely, but I think they're one of the 3 cups that they're in. I think they could win one of them, and it could be the big boy.
What do you reckon, Ren?
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised, you know. I'm going to go with Jay, you know.
Fuck
you know what?
You two on weight or something?
Can I say something to you? No, but let's be real, right? They got to that final with a depleted team, right? With a manager that is a good manager, obviously Pochettino, no disrespect to him. But now you've got more of a world. He's won this competition. Do you know what I mean? He's got the pedigree to do stuff like that. So you have to remember, and the way he sets up his team is like an Italian team, but now he's got the attackers as well. So if you're not going to score against them, and then they can break and score, and then they could just shut off shop, what's to say that what's to say you can beat them? Because he doesn't even let you get past his defense. Like, look, I'm telling you, because I've watched us play them last season, and I was just getting pissed off because I was thinking that we had nothing, we couldn't break them down. They were hard to break down. And then on top of it, they, like Jay said, they have world-class strikers up front. Like, there's nobody, just because they haven't won anything, they're still putting up the numbers. Son, you've got Kane putting up the numbers. Now you've got Perisic coming in, who's going to be able to drive the youngsters, obviously, if they're dropping their head because he's done it before. Obviously, you've still got Lucas there. Do you know what I mean? Like,
let's calm the bone.
No, but so all I'm saying is that they're winning something, basically, because I'm just basing it on what I saw come the end of the season. They picked up a lot of points. They hardly dropped any points, and that's why they were in the top 4. So now he's got his set of players. I think it's just a completely, and he has a pre-season with them. I just think they're just going to be a different beast, personally.
Finish, Ren.
I think I'm going to say 3rd because I don't want to say above us. So I'm going to say 3rd.
We'll move on. Brentford, Jay. Transfer window so far.
You keep cutting out. What did you say?
Transfer window so far. What's your thoughts?
Firstly, season ticket came today. Hey, little pen, little keychain here. Yeah, look, we were speaking in the transfer window show a couple of weeks ago. I was saying I feel like we need to sign a little bit of experience. And then we've done that with Ben Mee. I know he's a bit old, but I think he's actually been very underrated for a while now. And we signed the goalkeeper from Napoli. So been Napoli's goalkeeper for the last 7 years or something, consistently playing in a very strong defensive league. So I think we've got some good heads on their shoulders there, so which will help the rest of the team. So yeah, I think probably there or thereabouts the same as last year finish, because like I say, I think the rest of the league have strengthened as well. So look to stay in the league is always the main thing, because we're still the poorest team in the league, regardless of the 3 teams that came up. We're still the poorest. So I'll take surviving at any point. But I think a 10th to 8th is optimistic but realistic for the not 10th to 8th, sorry, 12th to 8th. I think it's probably going to be the lower half of that, but I don't feel like we can't compete with the teams around us.
Regarding the players you brought in, are you happy with these additions? And just briefly on Eriksen, just your thoughts on that as well, please.
Mate, I've done it every fucking show. Why do you keep asking me?
Because people can see your reaction.
Mate, look, it is what it is. Obviously, was gutted to not have him. He gave us some quality when he was here. So
Don't bite. Carry on.
So yeah, gutted to see him leave, but at the end of the day, that's football. Like the club, Wallace said it before. It's not Eriksen FC, it's Brentford FC. So if he didn't want to stay with us, I think he should have said sooner when we've offered him a contract. If he didn't want to sign it and wait out for anything else, I don't think that's very respectful. So fuck the guy, to be honest. Still a great player. He ain't going to start for Man United, and Man United is still going to be shit, because it shows the levels, yeah, when he could have gone back to Tottenham, but Tottenham went, no, we ain't interested because we want to buy future talent. Whereas Man United were like, yeah, we'll have him, and then not start him. So what's the point? So yeah, that's my views on Eriksen. Like I say, on the players we bought in, I think the last 2, we bought some young players, we bought some experienced players, so get that good mix in the squad. We definitely needed a centre back. So look, we signed players we needed. I'd like one more winger, but apart from that, we've had a 10 out of 10 window.
Regarding star player, who's going to be the main man for you this year?
Yeah, look, it's going to be Ivan again, I think, to be honest. I think he was the main man last year. I can't fault Ivan last year. Do you know what I mean? Came up. I think he's still a bit raw on the ball, and he can't take it past people. But I think his layoff play, his movement, his finishing, his kind of his work rate is all top drawer. So he's still quite raw as a player, but and as a technical player. But I think that's always something that can be developed. So his core game's there, and we're going to see a really good Ivan this year. And I think he's going to score more goals than he did last year, 15 plus. What
about Brian and Bemo? If he sorts his finishing out?
If he sorts his finishing out, Liverpool are going to buy him. But like amazing with the ball, fast, great vision. It's just a shame we haven't seen what we saw in the first year of Championship from Brian, where he got 10 plus assists and 15 goals for a new guy to the league. I think he just gets a little bit unlucky. If his finishing improves, I mean, he hit the post, so how far away can you be? 7 times or so like that. So if he gets them 7 goals, he's going for 50 plus million as well. So yeah, it's just a little bit always frustration with Brian, because we've seen what he can do, and I'm not saying he hasn't been there the last 2 years, but because he has, but he just didn't hit the numbers that he hit before.
Before I go to you, Rain, a couple of questions. Just that one briefly, Jay. What about Lewis Potter? Thoughts on him, and will he start?
Yeah, look, I think everyone loves Wieser, so scored against Liverpool. Wieser is a goal scorer. I don't think he's that great starting. I think Lewis Potter potentially starts ahead of him, but it's one of those things. Well, he's a goalkeeper, mate. Of course he dives. The Brentford fans love him because he scores goals, Wieser, but I don't necessarily think he's that good from a start.
I don't think he's got the quality like Brian has.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's kind of going to be between Lewis Potter and Wieser, who's got that starting quality, and then it's going to be between either of them. They can both finish. Lewis Potter's scored already in pre-season, and he's played a game and a half. So who knows? We're not going to see much until the season starts, to be honest.
Ren, obviously, I know you're very high in Brentford. You're obviously a lot of compliments after their 3-3 draw against you. Do you think they'll be okay this year, or do you think there might be a little bit of a second season syndrome, as people say, or do you think that's a bit of nonsense here with Brentford? They'll be okay.
I'm going to say nonsense with Brentford in particular. I wouldn't say that about a lot of teams, but in particular, because I heard about their structure. The structure's it's a well-run club. So I heard that they have an analytics. Tell me if I'm wrong. Obviously, this is something that I heard for another Brentford fan. So they have an analytics team where they actually look at players they want to buy before anyway. So they're always looking at and assessing players beforehand. So even if they lose somebody, they already know who they're going to buy to replace them. And if that's the case, and the way that I see the club run, I can't see them panic buying like they haven't just bought like all these big names, right? What they've done is they've just gone about their business the right way, and that's what I like to see from teams that's trying to build their way into the league, rather than I'm going to get, for example, Fulham, right? When Fulham and QPR came up, what did they do? You know what I mean? They just bought a lot of big name players, but didn't think about the future. Whereas maybe this season they're going to look at that, but I think Brentford will be fine. I think they'll be fine, if I'm honest with you. And can I just say something about Eriksen?
Yeah, go on.
Look, the reason why, I understand why Brentford fans would be annoyed with that, but do you know what I realised he done? I think he didn't want to go United, but it's like he's been able to play in Europe again, and obviously this is his final chance to do it. So I think that's the only reason why he went, because I think he would have preferred to go back to Tottenham personally, but it's just like he's gone for the next club that's taken him, which was Man United.
Phil's talking in the car. Big up my co-host. Jay, thoughts and expectations for the upcoming season. How are you feeling? Feeling? Are you nervous, or are you confident that you can just?
No, I'm not nervous at all. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. So yeah, let's give it another go.
And where do you think you finish?
Yeah, 12th to 8th, something like that.
What if I said 15th, 16th? Would you snap my hand off?
I'll be happy with it. I'll be happy with 17th as long as we stay in the league. I couldn't give a shit other way, but I think we can definitely compete enough to finish a lot higher than that.
Yeah, I think it's all about the start really of Brentford, because you've got a bit of a hard finish. So if you can get enough points on the board, like you did last year, you'll be okay. Anything else for Brentford, guys? Ren, Rob, Jay, anything? Back talk there, mate. No, okay. You're the right man for her.
Funny.
Okay, so we're going to move on now. Who will be the bottom three? 19th, 18th, in that order. Robert, I'll start with you, mate. Who are the bottom three?
I'll say Leeds, followed by Brighton, and obviously Everton. I hate Everton.
Obviously, Everton because of Chris.
Yes.
And Fulham and Brighton because of Mum. But why Leeds?
I don't like Leeds.
That's it. 3 teams you don't like. How happy will you be if Everton get relegated?
I'd throw a party. I'll be at the football club buying everyone drinks. I will be.
You're the right man for her. You're the right man for her. Yeah, all right, Rob. Thanks, mate. I'll move on.
Keep mocking me and I'll show the picture again.
Go on, show it. Fucking hell. Okay, one sec. Comments. Mark Hill, Fulham fan, by the way, because our players for the future get snapped away by Liverpool. Yeah, well, fuck you. Pinnock and Asia absence will be noticed. Yes, but then Ben Mee, I would say, Jay.
Well, but they were also absent a lot of the season last year. Pinnock didn't play the second half of the season. Aya didn't play the first half of the season. So they're obviously big players, but I think Ben Mee's a massive signing. So as long as he stays fit, I think we'll be all right. The other day in the pre-season against Wolfsburg, Mads Beck was just fucking terrible. Like, he was shocking. Yeah. So I know you haven't rated him for a long time, but if we didn't bring Ben Mee in, I'd be very, very worried. So look, as long as they stay fit, what I've seen from Pinnock is they're saying he doesn't need an operation, so he's not going to be out for 3 months. It's going to be the first few games of the season. They haven't given an update on Aya, so potentially the first bit of the season. But if Janssen and Ben are there, then I don't have a problem, to be honest.
I'll just quickly question from Chris, very quickly. Who's finishing higher? Jay, I know your answer, so I'll... Robert, who's finishing higher? Brentford or Fulham?
Brentford.
Very quickly.
I have to say that.
Fulham.
Brentford.
Fuck you, Mark. Please. Brentford are safe as Everton, Leeds and Brighton are getting relegated. Living out. Daniel's the same with Rob. I think Brighton are getting relegated as well. I think they're fucked. Leeds, because Leeds are falling apart. I don't know. I think Leeds are in good shape, personally. I think they'll be fine. McMahon... Fulham, Bournemouth and Brentford. Chris McMahon's my best mate. He hates Brentford, so I'm not sure. Ella, Fulham, Chelsea, Southampton, Bournemouth. So Chelsea are getting relegated. Let's see your embarrassing pictures, Robert. Let's not. Graham, show your pictures. Oh, I don't have any pictures of Rob. And if Fulham signing Len having a decent centre-back, we'll have a decent side. But I agree, Brentford will finish above us at the moment. Fucking hell. Humble pie. We'll go to you, Ren. Bottom three.
I'm just going to put 4 in there. I'm going to say, because it's a mix-up. So I've got Bournemouth, Southampton, Everton and Fulham. I don't. The reason why it's a bit hard for me, because I feel like Southampton's actually been on a decline, even though I like the manager, but I feel like they start well, then they just start to tail off recent seasons. Bournemouth, I feel they'll be prepared for this season, but I don't know if they will be able to maintain. Everton haven't signed anybody and sold. They've been selling players and haven't bought anybody. I can't see what's going to change if you haven't changed anything in the team. And Fulham, I'm saying they will be above, but potentially in that battle. But I feel like they will prepare better, because I feel no, it's not Scott Parker, but the old Watford manager's there, and I feel like he knows how the league runs, so he'd be better prepared for what will come at him.
Jay, bottom three.
I can't really decide on a 3, to be honest. I definitely understand why people are saying Everton and Leeds, but I think Leeds have had a pretty good window, to be honest. I don't really rate Jesse Marsh, but I think he is a decent manager and he's bringing in people that he knows. So I can't see them two being down there. I think it's probably going to be 3 that came up. I think they're all going down, or Southampton, because I think Ralph Hasenhart is a fucking overrated manager. He's been there a while now and they're just on a decline. They were fucking shocking the second half of the season. But I don't know why people think Forest are staying up. They've signed like 12 players. Fucking hell. Like, Steve Cooper's a good manager, but I just think they're doomed just by doing that. I mean, they've spent something like over 100 million or something, maybe close to that, if not that. But Lingard's going to be good for them, but defensively, I don't think Nico Williams is the centre-back to be their centre-back. Do you know what I mein? You need someone with an experienced head in the league, and he just doesn't have enough Premier League games under his belt. That doesn't necessarily always matter, but I just think that's a massive task for them, and people think they're going to stay up just because they're not in Forest, but I think they're going to finish dead bottom, and then it's going to be Southampton if they're shit, going down with the other two.
I originally said, so when I did my prediction the other month, I said Bournemouth, Fulham and Southampton because I didn't think they had enough in and they didn't buy. But I've actually changed my mind. I think Southampton will still be in a relegation fight, but I like a few of the signings they brought in. I still think they could go down. I'm not disputing that, but I put Brighton there now because I worry for Brighton. I don't see a lot of quality in that team. I think they're over-pushed this year. I think Brighton and Wolves, unless they don't strengthen, they're in trouble. But again, I get Southampton, I get Everton. I don't get Leeds. I think Leeds are perfectly fine. I think they won't even be anywhere near it. I think they've got a good team. Forest, again, I understand where Jay's coming from. Completely agree. I think there'll be another one who will either go down, be at bottom, or they'll be 16th or 17th. We'll see. But I think Bournemouth are definitely doomed. I think the way they've approached the window is something that worries me. Scott Parker can't play in the Premier League. They brought 2 players who were championship level players on frees. That's a bit of a worry. A few more comments, not saying, yeah, like I said, a few of us said Southampton. Definitely agree with that, Max. And obviously, Bolger, they brought a young player in yesterday He looks like a decent little talent. So Rebo from Rangers, he's okay as well for the money they paid. I'll be happy if not Forest get relegated. I like Forest. I don't have an issue. And they had to bought loads of players in, Jay, because 10 of their players that started all went back on loan. So,
but that's the worry, isn't it? Is they've had a couple of pre-seasons together and now they're going into the Prem, and I think that's fucking scary, to be honest. Like, I would be worried if I was a Forest fan. Be happy that you're there, but that's a big ask. We're going to know after the first 5-10 games, like always. But yeah, I think that's a really big ask for them.
Fulham will be 20th. Yeah. Go on.
I was going to say, I'm looking forward. You know that you said about Nico Williams. I don't know if he's their centre back. He's going to be like a right back. So then the player that they bought a player, right, that I'm interested in seeing play, right. They bought our ex. We sold it to so they're Taywell, because he's actually he's a big striker. It seems like a lot of teams are buying big strikers this year, so it must be a change in formation for everybody. But he was somebody I thought maybe we could have kept on our books, but Jesse Lingard going there, and obviously, hopefully, Nico Williams providing crosses to him. I think he might be a threat. So I agree with you when you buy a whole new team, basically. But I feel like this manager will make sure they're well drilled. Something about him, I don't think he would let them come unprepared. And I feel like he plays well.
I do think that's a lot for Nico Williams. So 70 million is a lot of money for a player that's never really started in the Prem. But he's young. Maybe they're gambling on him. By the way, 26 people watching at the moment. Big up to everyone. Thank you for all the comments. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please leave a comment. Please leave a like. Much appreciated. Well, we're now going to go to the top 4 in order, please, from fourth to first. What will the top 4 be? Rob, I'll go with you again. Top 4 in order, please, mate.
My top 4 will be, in first place, would be Liverpool, followed by Man City, Tottenham, and sadly, I have to say this, Arsenal.
Okay, big up. Anything you want to add to that, or you're happy?
I reckon it's going to be very close between Liverpool and Man City this season, but I reckon Liverpool may just pull it off. So very unlucky last season.
Fair enough, mate. Okay, Ren, top 4, mate.
I'm gonna go with it, brother. I'm gonna say the same. I'm gonna believe this year is ours, man, because we've lost it twice to them by 1 point. So I'm gonna go with it being our year. So the same order.
Exactly the same order. Liverpool, Man City, Tottenham, and then Arsenal. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Jay, top 4, buddy.
I don't know, to be honest. I have to go from top down. City, Liverpool, Spurs, and maybe Arsenal. I don't think Chelsea will. I think they've lost too many players, and they signed Kabalia and fucking Sterling. Don't get me wrong, Sterling is a massive upgrade because they were shocking there last year, but I don't think they've covered their centre backs or defensively enough. Marcus Alonso and Azpilicueta were massive players for them last year, and they were still had a lot of quality in them. When Azpilicueta was played against us, when they beat us at home 1-0, I thought he was really good for them, like really good. So I know Chelsea fans obviously see their team week in, week out, but yeah, I think I'd be worried if I was Chelsea. And the comments the other day from Tuchel, I think is a little bit worrying. He was saying like he doesn't think they've had a good enough window. No, don't. For real, Chris, be a realist. Like, you can't be happy with the players you've signed and the players you've lost, especially on frees.
No. To be fair, he's not happy. Mac is not happy. He's very worried for this year. I did a show yesterday, 5 guests, and every single guest didn't put Arsenal, and 2 of them were Arsenal fans, put Arsenal in top 5. Now, I think we might be 5th, but I was surprised no one else, and all 3 of you have put 4th. Now, I think a lot of people are putting that because how Chelsea have come across the window, and I think Man United haven't done enough to really improve their team. Now, I do think the top 3 will be Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham, and I do think top 4 full spot at the moment for any of them. I never like to gamble because I think we can get it, but I just got this feeling about Chelsea and Man United might just pull it off. So I think I said Chelsea yesterday, but again, I completely see Chelsea could fuck it up. You know, Sterling's a good player. Koulibaly's a good player, but they need another 3 or 4. Chelsea are weak at the moment, and I think Mako and any Chelsea fan will agree with that. Yeah, pre-season's pre-season. but they did. They haven't looked good in pre-season. Yeah, it's pre-season. You know, I think Man United. It could be anyone because last year no one thought Arsenal would be even fifth. So we'd have to have a look. I think, like I said, I think the top three is more of a certainty, and it's just a gamble for that full spot. Chelsea, no chance. Ella hates Chelsea like Macca hates Brentford. By the way, Rudiger big loss. Aspilicueta is shite. Diving play acting in Spanish. You know what that is. Alonso and Espy were out. Problem last season. We were going to rely heavily on James and Sherwood not to get injured. I know that's a fair comment. I do think them two both got injured last year, and they both were probably at one point their best two players. So we will see. I think Kante needs to stay fit, and obviously we'll see what they do with Gallagher and Brozier.
Brozier's shit. Brozier is fucking shit. Couldn't get into a shit Southampton team second half of the season. He couldn't. Fact.
Yeah, no. That good. Very injury prone, but still we'll get picked for England squad. Yeah, because it's Gareth. I didn't ask these guys yesterday, but I'm going to ask you guys today. Who is going to be the player of the season? I'll start with you, Ren. Player of the season. Who's it going to be?
That's a hard one. You know what? I'm gonna go for a full season under preseason under Klopp. I'm gonna say Diaz.
Fair enough. Big shout. So you think he'll be the best player in the league this year? Okay, Rob. Who's going to be the player of the season?
I have to go for one of my players, Song.
Yeah, Son, not Song. Yeah, that's
yes,
fine.
I know. Leave me alone.
Do you know what, Daniel? Fuck's sake, mate. I still think this guy gets massively undervalued. No one ever talks about him until he starts just bossing it. I think he'll do the same. I think he'll be the key. Yes, Haaland's great. Silva's great, but this guy's the key for me. I think if he plays and stays fit, they're unbeatable at times. Jay?
I think it's hard to say because everyone's just going to pick an attacker because we just rate things on fucking scoring goals, don't we? I think it's probably going to be...
I'd pick the midfielder.
I think, but he's an attacking midfielder, isn't he? Bangs goals and gets assists. So I think it's potentially going to be the opposite. I think a lot of teams, like I said before, are settled and kind of pick their forwards. Have picked their forwards this year. So I think it's probably going to be whoever's got the best defence. And I know I said City are going to win the league, but I think Liverpool potentially have got the best back four and goalkeeper in the league by a country mile. So it's going to be one of their centre-backs, whether it's VVD or other matey, Matip, fuck knows, but I think they're both quality. So let's go with one of them, even though they won't get rated by anyone compared to the forwards.
Mac is bumming Arsenal, but he's being sarcastic. I know it. Ella, I think Jay will pick his twin. By the way, Ella keeps making these jokes about James. Ella thinks Jay looks like James Tarvaski, by the way. The Everton centre-back. Apparently, that's what Jay looks like. Ren's laughing. He finds it funny.
It's been fucking sticking up for you, Ren, or being on your side today.
No, sorry, I didn't notice till you said it.
One more question, another brief one. I've said the player of the season. Jay, I know your answer. You can just elaborate to the guys on the show. I'll start with you. Who has been so far the signing of the summer? Jay, I'll start with you. I know you said play the other week. Are you going to bum him again, or are you going to change your mind?
Who did I say the other week?
You said Jesus.
Yeah, it can't be now. People will be beside me. But, as much as I want him to fail, because I fucking hate hype trains, it's probably going to be Haaland, isn't it? I mean, I'm not getting excited about the price tag because it was all hidden. But yeah, Haaland's got to be the signing of the summer. If he can stay fit as well.
Rob, who's signing in the summer?
Arsenal's Jesus.
Man, like you, always have. Ren signing in the summer. Aaron Hickey just hit for his name. Big up everyone, by the way. Jay-Z smashed it. Fuck off, Macca. I'll let you go, Ren.
I don't. Do you know what? It's a toss up between Jesus and it's a toss up between Jesus and Haaland. But there's another person, right, that people are not speaking about because he was bought in January. Was that Alvarez that Man City bought? Right. I think he's going to be something. They said he's a new Aguero, right? I think he's going to be very good, but I know he may not start. But it's a toss up. If you're going to talk about starters, I'm going to say between. I think it's going to be. I want to say Jesus, but I feel like it's going to be Haaland. You guys just said it with De Bruyne behind him and Bernardo Silva. Look at the team they have that's going to be providing this guy balls. I just can't see it being anybody else in terms of attacking wise.
I said Haaland, but I'll change that. I think Basuma for Tottenham. I think that 25 million for someone who's going to start. He's a centre midfielder of quality and he can play a lot in different roles. So for me, I'll give that to Tottenham. He was nice to me about Jesus, so I'll go back. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I really appreciate you coming on. 30 people watching us right now. Please subscribe. I want to thank everyone in the comments. It's been fantastic. It's been a great show. And we will be back next week for some more previews. The season is starting. We have some pre-recorded previews coming up. These are people that don't want to come on the lives. That's fair enough. Brentford will feature Reece, Dougie, Laurinella, Mark Hill, and Bears do the shit team from West London called Fulham. The Bear does Newcastle. Shahan does Man United. And potentially Chris McMahon. He will be doing Chelsea. So he'll be pretty honest about Chelsea. I know he's not very optimistic. I know none of you have your YouTube channels. You're all part of this channel. So I just want to say thanks to all of you. Anything that anyone wants to add?
Mate, wash your fucking mouth out saying a Tottenham have made the best signing of the summer. Wash your mouth out. You've gone soft supporting half Brentford, half Arsenal.
Why don't you shut your fucking mouth? Good luck in the Cup.
I know for one fact, Brentford, Graham, I know for this year, Brentford will have a double win over you.
Stop advertising. I've done fuck all so far.
Mate, you're going to beat Arsenal twice this season.
Get out the car. Stop dogging Phil. When would the Championship preview start? Asking for another sip. No, fuck off. It's either than Arsenal. You bunch of bellends. Listen, thank you everyone in the comments. I really appreciate it. Phil's dogging. We will see you again next time. Thank you, Ren.
Take care. Bless.
Rob.
Okay.
Thank you, James. Jay.
Bye.
See you next time, guys. Subscribe, like, and please leave a comment. Bye-bye.
Yes, Phil.